Welcome to the channel. I'm Paul. I'm a 55-year-old widower. I lost my husband after he convinced me to sell our home of 23 years in Collingswood, New Jersey, and move us to Long Island's North Shore, to Northport, where he is from. He left me 6 days before our 33rd anniversary and our 8-year wedding anniversary. I am hoping that this vlog will show how I'm trying to make my way with our pups, Kyle and Max, known as the boys. I'm working hard trying to set my sails with the wind behind me and trying to find my second wind. Okay, going to film a little bit of an intro here. I'm hoping to keep these short, these vlogs, because I gotten comments that the other one was way too long. So I'm going to try to keep them short. I'm still trying to figure out how to add music, so you'll have to deal with me. And I'm trying to do some kind of edit with markers so that we can see where we're going from, but it's taking so long to edit and I need to get these things up and out. It is Wednesday. It's time for an upload for episode 2. Hoping that I will include some of the stuff from Ignite, which is the youth conference that I attended last month with Pastor and our youth in our church. I tried to keep them out of the pictures so that, you know, I could feel good about posting this up. So, this is the intro. I hope you guys will enjoy it. I do believe that I'm going to be able to fit a share that I had about grief in here. And we'll see where it goes. And I will record a exit when I'm done. Thanks. Okay, let's see. Alright, so I'm going to do a pod change. I'm just logging in early for work. I always like to log on early. I've already checked my emails because I get them on my phone. And of course, I can't seem to type this morning, so I have you guys perched on top of my desk. I decided I'm going to do a pod change because I don't think people understand, like, the what it is, a day in the life of somebody trying to make it. With diabetes and, you know, the challenges that I have. Not that we all don't have challenges. We all have challenges. I just, you know, with the depression, the diabetes, the normal, just my life being a nightmare. Alright, nope, that's not what I wanted. Everything is dual verification nowadays. So, work, school uses Microsoft Authenticator, which, you know, I went through some major problems with that. When I upgraded my phone, they literally sent a, on YouTube this morning, there was a, not YouTube, on Facebook, there was a commercial for OMNIPOD 5, which is what I wear. That's my pump. Permit use. And they literally said, you know, is now compatible with iPhone. I was like, not with the 17. That's why I had to go back to my PDM, which is a personal diabetes manager. This is how my pump gives me insulin. This is, you know, and what I'll be changing today is the pod, which is right up here. and you'll see it contains insulin and my CGM, which is on my stomach this week. You're not going to see that because I'm presently fat and I'm not showing you. We just it runs out of insulin. You have to replace it every 3 days. Insulin loses its efficacy as it warms up, and 3 days is like the max that it can be against. Like, I'll show you. There is insulin inside this electronic device here. There is a cannula down here that goes up underneath my skin. The CGM has a cannula too, and that's constantly reading continuous fluid underneath my skin and sending a message to my pump what my blood sugar is. Right now my blood sugar is at 150, which I consider high, so it's delivering insulin in a correction value based on that. And what you're going to see today is, before, you know, I get into the after I get out of the shower, I'm going to change my pod. I'm going to disconnect and remove it before I get into the shower, and then when I get out of the shower, I will connect the new pod. And you all will get to be able to see that, and it will be PG rated because I'm not that type of person. And I'm doing this just to show, like, there are a lot of challenges that people don't see and they don't understand with just dealing with being a diabetic in this hectic, crazy world. And I try to navigate myself through it as safely as I possibly can. Alright, so this is the least revealing. So I think I'm going to do everything here, but I'm about to get into the shower. First I have to disconnect my pod that I'm wearing. So, change pod. And deactivate pod. If you don't deactivate the pod, there's an alarm that goes off. They're called screaming pods. And it is extremely loud. And you used to be able to kill them with a paper clip. But I have not had great success with that lately with the new OMNIPOD 5. So I just put it in the freezer until it freezes, and then it gets thrown in the trash. Remove the pod. When I come back, I will get a new pod set up and we'll apply it after my shower. Alright, well, here we go. First you need alcohol swabs. I usually just use alcohol directly from the bottle because swabs are expensive and they also are extremely, they negatively infect the environment. Then you need skin tack, which is basically glue for your body, because I sweat profusely all the time. Alright. Little tiny bit to just, I'm trying to not show my chest. Then you need a pod. This is a pod. The reason why I didn't alcohol swab my body is I just got out of the shower, so not necessary. The needle comes in two parts. You put it together. We clean, even though this never comes out of the drawer, we clean every time the vial. We want to make sure that we're not transferring any germs or anything like that. And don't worry, you never see a needle go into me. This is literally just filling up the insulin to put into the pump. Oops. Well, that was extreme. Give me a sec. All right, I guess that was good for showing you what not to do. There was too much air in the vial, and what it does is it backs up and it creates a whole bunch of air pockets, and you don't want air pockets inside your pump. All right, I have my PDM. Set up new pod. So now we have to put the insulin into the pod. And believe me, this is easy compared to what T-Slim people and other people have to go through. This is a very, very easy process. It's just, you know, OMNIPOD is expensive, and for some reason, not all insurances will carry it. We are filled up, so now we're going to communicate with the pod. And what it's doing is it's sending all the information to the pod to calibrate it, to clean it, to, you know, do all that stuff. Make sure that it's ready to go and there are no air bubbles, because you would be introducing air bubbles into your body. So, now, a lot of people ask, why do I wear it on my chest? I wear it on my chest and my upper arms because that's where I get the best, it stays the best and I get the best results. On my stomach, I have gone through an entire 3-day cycle of being above 200. And that's just, it's, you know, you can go into ketoacidosis and it's not good. I do like my upper back, you know, which is like it's your lower back above my hip. But I have a problem getting in and out of the car and making sure that the pod stays on. These do come off. In the summertime, I go through a lot of them because I sweat and I swim, and they're made to swim and stuff, but I think the sweat that I have is just toxic. We add that right over top of where we had our glue, and then we press start. It's communicating with the pod. You'll hear a couple of clicks, and then it inserts. So right now the cannula is inside. A little needle comes out. It inserts the hollow cannula underneath your skin so that it can deliver insulin. As I said, I sweat a lot, so I have to put an overlay patch on top just to ensure that it's not going to come off. And for anybody out there who's saying, you know, well, you're not going to sweat in the wintertime. When I have a low blood sugar reaction, I sweat like a beast. And I've had pods just, I've wiped them because they're annoying when they sweat. And the pod, the overlay patch, everything just comes off. Okay. Now it says, is the cannula properly inserted? Yes. Switch to automated mode? Yes. And now it's connecting my transmitter. That's the last bolus I gave myself. And we are good to go for another 3 days. I hope that, you know, is a little educational for some people that don't understand. You know, a lot of people think that type 1 diabetics, you know, we've had so many advances and everything, and, it's all over. But it's still a challenge, and it still takes some determination, and we still do control our diabetes, how it affects us and what we're willing to do. I hope that is helpful. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and at least I gave you a little bit of an education. We'll be back later. So this is my Sunday school classroom. We're just cleaning up. It's not appropriate to have the kids on camera, but this is the thing that brings me the most joy in the world. It truly, truly does. I love these kids. I love teaching Sunday school. I love my church. And it is such a blessing. The cake went over very, very well. I knew it would. It went well the first time that I made it. But I just wanted to let you all know, let you see what I do with my life. The Eagles play today. And since the Phillies have clinched their spot in the playoffs, and they clinched the bye week, I felt, well, they're both playing today. I got to go with the Eagles because everybody's waiting for us to lose. So that's it for now. I will talk to you later. On to cleaning up my classroom.
His word says he inhabits the praise.
Nah, like when you think of something a kid would eat, I don't think. Yeah. I didn't think of that, but yeah.
Well, the rest of that shit was disgusting. I said, oh, but you eat it.
Disgusting.
And then I'd be like, oh, you want your fish?
Oh, she's saying like.
So we're going to finish this up here. I showed you my Sunday school classroom, which went back, shows you all the footage that I have that I've not uploaded. That was before the Dodgers literally slaughtered the Phillies. Hey, it's baseball. We always have next season. Then it was Ignite weekend. Ignite is a youth conference that's held for our youth. My pastor and I and another driver took our church, some youth from other churches here on Long Island, and then we picked up two youth groups from two different churches in Brooklyn, New York, and then drove them down to Wildwood, New Jersey, where I, while getting gasoline, got too close to a pylon and I wrecked the front quarter panel of the rental vehicle. Well, it was rented in my name, and I did ask for complete insurance, which I got. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm working really hard to try to learn the editing software, trying to learn how to do voiceovers and all that stuff, and hopefully we'll be seeing some of that in the next upload. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.